Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early to mid-September 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Geminis. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going. My guides and spirit team, talk to me. What do we have for Gemini here? In early to mid-September, what energies, messages, insights can we pull for our good friends? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Gemini in early to mid-September. The year is just moving right along, my friends. It is indeed. Moving pretty quick from my vantage point. How about yourself? Let's get this card out here just so we could get the messages going. There it is. Thank you. Okay, so as the year moves along, there's an energy here that's looking behind, okay, which is peculiar. That's definitely a different vibe than what I've been getting for you in recent weeks, because recent weeks it's been like, all right, full steam ahead. We're looking forward. This energy is doing a lot of reflection and looking back. So before we fully talk about that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the September subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. Lots of very intriguing imagery here. So we see this lady in that beautiful purple dress, if I do say so myself, and she's holding that letter and she's looking behind her. Now, the reason I know that this connects with the past, there's another card that's very self-reflective within the same deck that actually has her picture denoted on it. So of course, like in this time, you might be taking trips down memory lane. There could be certain blasts from the past when this card shows up as well, because it's either dealing with something that's already happened, coming to grips with something that's already happened, or even revisiting it, which is something I've been seeing like a lot in fire signs, so it's showing up for you here too. Now, this card, it also has a lot of notes of communication. Notice she's holding a letter. There's all these birds, which birds and symbolism, they're messengers, pardon me. They're sending messages, there's talk, and there's a lot of back and forth. So I'd be shocked if we don't have similar themes within the reading itself. So we're just going to put her down there right by the crystals. Let's get into tarot. And I always say the first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a footnote. Let's get it going. 3 cards here in the upright for the Geminis. Shuffle it up one time. And yeah, while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So it seems for a few weeks now, there's been powerful vibes coming at you, Gemini. And last week's reading was titled A Shocking Change. We did have Tower energy all in the mix. Okay, so just know that energy could bleed over for a couple of weeks, so don't be surprised if lots of different things are changing and going through a metamorphosis in a very, very powerful way. For some of you, things could even be closing out. So let's see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. Let's get it going. 3 cards for Gemini to start us off. What's happening? My good friends in early to mid-September. Okay, 6 of Pentacles, very giving type of energy, karmic in nature as well, and that's a theme I've been seeing with all the other signs. But I feel like this is good. This is an open energy to start with at the very least. Let's get a couple more. Thank you. Hierophant, okay. And this could be something that's clogging up the works a little bit, because although they're both earthy, this one is like standing right in the center. I got a similar thing in the Saggy reading. So let's see what's going on. Temperance, okay. Lots of spiritual energy here as well, and not the fastest mover. So there is something that might be a process, or there's something that might take time, whether it's to heal through or completely work through. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance here, elementally, this is very much earth heavy, okay, with the 6 of Pentacles and the Hierophant right here on the front. Now, when we have a lot of earth element, that could speak about material things, like we're talking money, work, career, home and family, stuff like that. You might just be in pentacle mode, but another thing with this energy is that it's very, very slow moving. And although we have temperance here on the back end, which is Saggy energy, usually seen as fire, temperance is a card of patience. So this energy is very slow, very thorough. Now, the clarifiers are going to be extremely important, because if we get a whole bunch of volatility here on the bottom, then that's going to mirror what we saw last week, like upheavals and stuff like that. But let's work our way through bit by bit, then we'll get into the juicy intuitive stuff. But first look, first glance here, in the very first card, we have the Six of Pentacles here. Now, I like this energy. It's open. Although it's earthy, it's moving. You see this person, they're holding the scales. This is a generous, charitable type of energy. Like, all right, I'll give you this one, or I'll share this with you. It's open. It's not really clamping things down. It's not fully shut. So there could be a certain situation you're wanting to give your energy to. There could be someone that's wanting to give their energy to you as well. Again, like if we're talking finance and money, this could be really good, because it could be an influx of things like that. I also say this is one of my cards of gift giving. I know it's not your birthday season. I know we're not quite at the holiday season just yet. So whether you're thinking about getting somebody a gift or vice versa, I see this, I think of like surprise gifts and stuff like that. Now, when it comes to the challenging aspect of the Six of Pentacles, it could represent a situation that's off kilter, something that's askew, something that's not fully balanced. Okay, so whether this is somebody else's energy, a situation in general, especially with this vibe here, because it feels like something is slower, or it's not going to move super fast, like when we have all this energy. But we'll see. I mean, the Six of Pentacles could be very good for slow and steady progress. Now, getting to the center, we have the Hierophant. This is a very, very complex card. Taurus energy, so you might be connected to Taurus here. And when I see the Hierophant, I'm just going to run down a list of possibilities that it could be. It could represent authority figures. It could represent people in a place of authority, like bosses, managers, stuff like that. It could represent power structures. It could represent governments and churches and corporations, you name it. We're talking big institutions with a lot of staying power. That's what we think of with this Hierophant. Yes, long-lasting connections, so whether it's people that you've been connected to for a very long time, marriage, you know the deal. Aside from that, the Hierophant could also represent your day-to-day life, your regular routine, okay, like things that you do daily. It's not anything outside of the box, it's within. And it is a very, very planted energy. And that's where we get to the challenge of the Hierophant. It is so sturdy, it's almost immovable. So sometimes I see it could represent tough situations. Sometimes it could represent problems that you're possibly trying to work through. It's something that can't really be rushed. Like, it's taken its time. So whether this is a stubborn person or a stubborn situation, we're going to have to look at it further. Now, on to the back end, we have Temperance, Archangel Michael on there. So first and foremost, I always say this is a huge card of spiritual protection. Guardian angels, guides, spirit team, whatever label you want to put on it, this is strong spiritual insulation. So some of you might just need that reassurance that, like, you were getting love from that other side, that subtle realm, and there's a lot of spiritual protection around you. Aside from that, yeah, this is a card of patience. Temperance, it's taking your time with something, slowing it down, going through the steps, going through the process, and that's a big vibe here. Another thing I say about this card, though, notice that Michael is pouring water from cup to cup. He's doing some sort of spiritual alchemy, so this card, to me, also represents something bubbling under the surface, where like the surface might seem like there's nothing going on, where things might seem very calm and serene, but underneath something's building up in a very big way. Okay, which especially with this fire energy can sometimes be explosive. So we're going to have to see how it goes. And when it comes to the challenge of this, yes, it could represent delays. It could represent something. And just like I've been seeing, there might be something where it's just a process. So I want to dive deeper on all the Gemini. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for the Gemini collective, please. What is happening for my good friends? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Six of Pentacles. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Gemini, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Six of Pentacles, what's up? Why is it here? Okay. All right, so there could be something where you're okay with how it is for the moment. Okay, like that's a vibe I'm picking up here. And of course, this could represent a win as well. But intuitively, the first thing I was picking up is like, okay, well, for the time being, this is all right. For the time being, this is okay. The Nine of Cups is very open and welcoming. So that's why when I see the Six of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, this is energy that's moving. It's like, okay, there's a lot of possibilities here. So for some of you, we're starting off from a good place. This isn't anything super negative. But again, this is something that's open to receive. I just have to give the message again. This is another one of my cards, a gift given. So I wouldn't be surprised whether you're treating yourself to something or somebody's going to give you a gift or something. Just keep it in mind. But to me, with the Six of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups, I feel like this is a win-based, victory-based type of energy. If not, if we're not talking about something great that could be coming your way, to me, it's like, okay, I'm okay with this for now. I don't know why that message is coming through that way. It's a very peculiar way for the energy to present itself, because it's content. That's the best way for me to put it. So if that's not you, this could be someone else's energy that is not doesn't work easy with change, where it's like, I'm content. No, I like things the way they are. Let's keep it as is. Like, that's just how this is presenting itself. So if that's not you, it's someone else, where they just like, they're very particular. They like things how they are. Let's just keep moving forward. For some of you, that could be very claimable, though. That could be a great energy coming towards you of a win or victory. So let's see if it plays out throughout the rest of the reading. Let's move over to the Hierophant, because we're at least starting from a good place. So why is the Hierophant here? Thank you. Okay. So we have the Page of Cups. Now it makes sense what we were picking up in the very beginning with that first Oracle card. To me, this could be a very serious or important talk that needs to be had or will be had in this time. So keep that in mind, because pages, they're all students, they're all messengers. Now, I will say this, it could be very fruitful for you. Like, we have all this earth and water mixing, which does represent blessings and abundance. So I do feel like these talks will be very fruitful for whatever your aims are. Now, this could be a water sign you're connected to, of course, with the Page of Cups. They represent youth. They represent learning new things. It's a very fresh energy. But when I see it up against this Hierophant, it's like, all right, no, we need to straighten this out. We need to talk about this. So just know, for a lot of Geminis in this time, whether it's a serious or an important talk that you want to have, or whether it's somebody else, it's like, all right, no, let's talk about this. We have to talk about this. We have to iron something out. That's like the main vibe I'm picking up here. Now, another portion of you, when we get this Hierophant and this page, the page could be very bashful when it's next to people of authority. Okay, so there might be someone you're connected to where they haven't fully opened up about something, or they're a little shy to really speak their true feelings or truth on a matter. Okay, so we're getting some very complex energy surrounding communication right here in the center. But again, the way this starts off, and even here in the middle, these aren't bad energies. They could really bring forth a lot of fruitful results for you in the future. Whatever this conversational energy is, it's like, it's not for nothing. This energy, all this energy, it's not for nothing. It just seems like a process. Okay, so again, keep that in your mind. I feel like there's something where it's a process. It needs to go this way, and this way to get to the final result. So we're going to keep moving. Again, in the center, it's either a serious or an important talk that needs to be had. So let's see why Temperance is here. Then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. So what is Temperance doing, please? Thank you. Fool in reverse. Okay, so this could be someone having second thoughts. Okay, watch out in this time that someone doesn't try to persuade you against something as well. When I see Temperance and the Fool in reverse, it's like, let's not be hasty. Let's not be hasty. Let's not go too fast. So when I'm speaking about this process, if this is a person, it's like very set in their ways, and it's not easy to shift the energy. Now, the Fool, to me, Aries energy, is an initiator. It's about taking action. Usually in the upright, we're making moves, we're doing this, we're doing that. It's very jovial, very happy. It could also be spontaneous. So when it shows up in reverse underneath a card like Temperance, whoa, slow it down. I'm getting that vibe of either one, someone might be trying to convince you of something, like, all right, well, let's not be hasty here. Let's go through a process. That's what's showing up here in a very strong way. Okay, so just take that into account. I mean, it could come from these conversations and talks. It could be something totally different. Now, I'm not telling you not to be too hasty, but I feel like this is someone suggesting a slower approach to something. Okay, either that or second guessing. whether it's someone making you second guess something, or it's even within yourself, like, oh, is this right? Should I do this? Should I not? Like, is this the right move? I don't know why those energies are coming through. So do with that information what you will. Let's just go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow card. We have a lot of things layered here, but the thing I want to reinforce is there is good fruitful energy possible. Like with the elements, we got the earth, we have the water, which are abundant, we have a nice fiery energy on the back where something could be building up. But position number one, we have the Six of Pentacles with the Nine of Cups in the upright. Some of you might be getting a little surprise gift, so keep that in the back of your mind. If that's not the case, I just feel an energy that likes things as so, or as the way they are. It's a very content type of vibe. Aside from that, a lot of you could have something really go your way in this time, especially if you've been working towards it for a long time. Moving to the center, we have the Hierophant with the Page of Cups in the upright. This feels like a very serious or an important talk that needs to be had. There could also be someone you're connected to where they're a little intimidated to speak about something, where they probably haven't said what they're fully feeling just yet. But yeah, to me, it does feel like a serious or an important talk. Moving to the back end, we have Temperance with the Fool in reverse, not so fast type of energy. So again, you might be having second thoughts about certain things, or this could be someone trying to convince you to slow something down. Either or. I do feel like for a lot of Geminis in the near future, there could be a process that you might need to go through, whether that's a healing process or something totally different. It's like, need to go through the steps, need to go through the process, or at least that's what someone thinks. So please take a screenshot of that if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. So let's get a good shuffle here for Gemini, please. What is in the shadows for my good friends, guides, and spirit team? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. Let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going. One card. Thank you. Chariot, fast. So the total opposite of what we were picking up throughout this whole entire reading is showing up here in the shadows. We have the Chariot, which is the fastest moving card and energy within the whole entire deck. Now, for a portion of you might be dealing with a Cancerian when this card is in the mix. This is a card of forward movement, determination, and action. Let's go. Let's not delay. So it's like we have this interesting juxtaposition where the whole reading itself is like slow, go through the process, slow and steady. This one in the shadows is like, no. I'm not going to go slow. Like, this needs to happen yesterday type of energy. Now, for a portion of you, this can represent distance, a trip that you might want to take, or that you are taking when the Chariot's in the mix. It can also be a little confrontational, so just know that in this time, maybe your energy is a little more aggressive than it normally is, okay? And that doesn't always have to be a bad thing. That could be very good, especially if you're dealing with stubborn things. But the Chariot does not want to slow things down, so watch out for impatience or getting frustrated with a process that you have to go through when this shows up. So yeah, Gemini, pretty simple there, my friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the September subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the September subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of one of my favorite decks of all time, the beautiful Wizard's Tarot. It's gorgeous and it works great. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, where would you like to go for your dream vacation? What are you manifesting? Let me know. Let's bring it to fruition. You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you again.